A blessed good evening to one and all. Here again in St. John's Parish Churchyard. I'm going to do another video of St. John's Parish Church once again. So this is St. John's Parish Church. Beautiful Gothic St. John's Parish Church. Tourists pay a visit to this site daily. St. John's Parish Church is an Anglican church. This is the tomb here of, first of all, this is the map showing you the list of tombs in the churchyard. The grave of Ivy Branch Bradshaw and her daughter, Iris Branch Banachie, who was the founder of Andromeda Botanical Gardens in St. Joseph, which is just above Bathsheba on the East Coast. Andromeda Gardens was founded in the 1950s by Iris Branch Banachie, who was a horticulturist. She was a Guyanese, a Portuguese Guyanese, who married to Harry Bailey from the Harry Bailey Observatory, so she was a Bailey first. And then she later married to a Banachie from Scotland. That's the name Irish Banachie. When she died in 1988, the gardens was entrusted to the Barbados National Trust, which it still is today. Andromeda Botanical Gardens was entrusted to the Barbados National Trust. It still is their property today. So Iris Branch Banachie is laid to rest here. As it was said previously, and always will say, people do not get buried in here anymore unless it is a by grave. This is the colored tomb where the black planter class are laid to rest. Richard E. Chase, Robert Skinner. So the Chase and Skinner families are laid to rest here. The grave of E. Thorne Gollett, who was the grandfather of Ralph Thorne, who is the current leader of the opposition for the Barbados Labour Party, Ralph Thorne, and he was also the grandfather of Sir Fred Gollett, who was another politician as well. Ivan Wilfred Weeks and Winifred Ursula Weeks also buried here. Tourists pay a pilgrimage to this church daily. This historic site, this beautiful site in Barbados. Tourists pay a visit to this site daily. The grave of Trevor Delisle Davis. For those of you who don't know who Trevor Delisle Davis is, Trevor's way down by the port, going down Harbour Road to take it into the Bridgetown Port and Deepwater Harbour. Trevor's Way, known as Lover's Lane, is named after him. Trevor Delisle Davis lost his life in a motor accident along Broadwood Hall in St. George by the Four Cross, where the villages, where the estates at St. George is now, right there. Before there was a roundabout there. And he met his death there in a motor vehicle accident. The grave of David Thompson, who was our 6th Prime Minister, who succeeded Owen Arthur as Prime Minister of Barbados from 2008 to 2010.